Meet Silvia de Fraier, founder of the all-women Brazilian band Samba que elas querem, Samba Women Want, rehearsing a feminist version of an old samba standard called Mulheres, Women, now retitled We Are Women. The original, written by Toninho Gerais, tells the story of a man who had many lovers, but these new lyrics, resonating with the Me Too movement, celebrate female empowerment and name female heroes, among them Black political icon Marielle Franco. The music is contagious, the smiles plentiful. Samba que elas querem's rise has been steady, and the group's following is growing by the day. The video has almost 130,000 views on YouTube in less than 6 months.
A gente tem um cuidado, na verdade, com o repertório de não colocar músicas que a gente acha machista, sabe? Ou que coloque o nosso corpo, ou enfim, que coloque a gente em situações de incômodo.
Silvia, a 34-year-old Rio de Janeiro native, says the idea to form an all-female group came to her at her own birthday party 2 years ago. She says she's not surprised about the popular impact. On average, 4 women are murdered in Brazil every day, usually because of their gender. A 2017 survey reports that almost 30% of women say they are victims of domestic violence. But it was the gunning down of Black councilwoman Marielle Franco in the streets of Rio de Janeiro in 2018 that made femicide a focal point of political resistance. Women have organized, and there is a growing movement opposing what large numbers view as the racist, misogynist presidency of Jair Bolsonaro.
Ser pioneira assim, de grupo de mulheres sambistas é muito legal e é muita responsabilidade também. Você tá ali, você ter que falar para mulheres e defender também. A gente tem que se informar muito mais, né, sobre o que está acontecendo.
As opposed to the huge samba parades during Rio's world-famous carnival, traditional samba circles like this one are halfway between a performance and a jam session, with lots of audience participation. They have been the domain of men since the jam was born more than 100 years ago. Women had little visibility except as backed singers, usually in the background for harmony. They were almost never allowed to play instruments, but that is starting to change even within some of the more established bands. All 8 members of Samba que elas querem play instruments. The tambourine, the mandolin, the guitar, the flute, and well, if there were no percussion, it just wouldn't be Brazilian music. Percussionist Julia Ribeiro says that without its upbeat, danceable musicality, the band would not be able to deliver its message effectively.
I think the best thing in this movement that we have today is to give representation for other women that don't have any reference of women that plays in a circle of samba, and transform all of us together into a bigger movement.
Mariana Solis is another of the group's percussionists and also a lead singer. While she has played in male-dominated samba circles in the past, she says that play in a women's group is liberating.
It's good to be in a group that you don't feel arrested by men. And I'm not saying that all the samba circles formed by men, you feel that all the time, but the women has a particular spot only being the muse or the singer. That singer is not a negative thing, but it's only being the singer is they put up the women in a position that she is the beauty in that movement, and she's not. She's there showing her work.
At the first ever official day of the Women's Samba in Rio de Janeiro, celebrated in April this year, Samba que elas querem played with other all-female groups to a large crowd. And it showed that the group's appeal isn't only to women. Marcelo Santos is the coordinator of Rio Samba Circles Association.
Esse movimento que está acontecendo aqui hoje, ele vem para poder ressaltar essa importância e para chamar na responsabilidade os homens sambistas, compositores, músicos, ritmistas, de que a gente não consegue mais fazer samba sem as mulheres.
In a sense, the rise of female groups like Samba que elas querem parallels samba itself. Both were marginalized for centuries. Women because of their gender, and samba because of its association to Brazil's centuries-long slave era.
Samba is resistance, samba is respect for the Afro-Brazilian culture and traditions, all of this very hard story that people pass through. So we need to look at this perspective, at this view of the black woman also singing and also composing and also playing samba. And we should definitely get this dialogue into the streets, into all of these places with the circles, with the conversations. But music can be a great place to do this, I think.
Musicians, composers, feminists, Samba que elas querem are also seizing the recently found fame to expand their visibility. Just before a recent rehearsal, the group squeezed in a cross-branding photo shoot promoting a new line of clothing. Their agenda is packed, and there is no time to waste as they perform at least twice a week in different venues, and are now preparing for the first international tour. Not everything the group does is overtly political or feminist. Much of its repertoire consists of samba classics, known and loved by generations of cariocas. Silvia's own musical compositions often deal with traditional samba themes. This one is to Afro-Brazilian goddess Iemanjá. She says the group avoids obviously chauvinistic songs or rewrites them to be consistent with their own voice. Silvia says just like samba music, she is inextricably attached to Rio de Janeiro. She says it is the city's geography and fauna that inspire her the most.
O Rio de Janeiro, ele é a minha universidade, porque ele é fruto de tudo que eu faço, sabe? E eu vivo no Rio desde que eu nasci. É difícil sair daqui por conta também do trabalho que eu faço, que é com música brasileira e especialmente com samba.
Meu bem, amor, assim quero longe de mim, bem longe.
Samba is Rio's soundtrack, says Silvia, and women sambistas are only making the cuts richer and more equal, reflecting changing times when hope is danceable and there are plenty of smiles to go around.
Um dia eu sonhei pra